Okay, so again, I did the odds with the last class, so with you guys, I'm going to scroll down and do the evens. All right, and then tonight, for those of you guys who want to make sure you make an A, I would try to do odds and evens. All right, test is always on Friday, most of the time. All right. The reason why is because Thursday is a shorter period, so it's kind of hard to do that. All right. So again, please stay with me now. Again, a lot of this information now, right now, I want to show you the same numbers come up over and over and over. You guys at this stage should be able to look at the square root of 50 and not even blink. That should be 5 radical 2. All right? So, correct answer. Now again, we have a lot to do. So stay with me. Aspen, go.
Okay, I got 15x squared radical 2.
So far, so good. Now, all I need is a hand up if you're not sure. Anybody have any questions?
I have a quick question. So.
That doesn't seem quick to me.
Oh wait, never mind. I got it.
All right, good. All right, here we go. Number 4. Oh, tell me. Radical 5. She's exactly right. Radical 5. No, I didn't call on you. Radical 5 is correct. Anybody have any issues?
No.
All right, question number 6. Somebody said radical what? I think it's radical 7. Anybody have any issues? Straightforward. Now, again, I'm really hoping you guys are getting the patterns down here. All right, don't be confused by y to the 9th and make it y to the 3rd. All right, you're always taking things out in groups of 2. So 500, that breaks down to, better, yes, 5 times 100. Anytime you see 100, you're happy because it's just 100, because the square root of 100 is what? 10. So again, we're doing 10 radical. The 5 stays behind. Can I pull out an x? No. How many y's can I pull out? 4. And then what? A y is left behind. All right, now come on now. We're getting down. These are the important ones right here. If you're okay with these, the bottom problems will be easier. Everybody have any questions with that? Yes. I'm on number 8. What do you want? Not on 8, right? So, we'll get there. 10. Everybody take a look at number 10, please. No, not even close. 77, perfect. All right. So again, think about it. I'm trying to show you a different way of looking at numbers. You don't want to multiply numbers together because then it's harder to take the square roots. So you're supposed to recognize that there is a 7 in 77. Right? So square root of 7 times the square root of 7 is what? 7. And this 11 and this 11 makes what? 11. 7 times 11. That's how you should be thinking about it. 77. All right? Now, everybody take a look at number 12. All right? Again, I would want you, as you're doing this, not to say square root of 6 times square root of 2 is square root of 12 and then break it down. I really don't want. Is everybody hearing me on this?
Yes.
You can do square root of 12, but I can make the numbers harder. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Right? So the object is to keep the numbers small so you can train yourself to realize that what's common with a 6 and 2. So you write 2, and what's left? A 3. That's what I'm hoping you can tell me. So I multiplied this times this and got 2 radical 3, right?
Yeah.
Now I'm going to multiply this times this, and I recognize there's a common what? And what's left behind? Beautiful, guys. That's what you should be telling me. All right? Everybody okay with that? All right, let's go on. 14. All right? 3 radical 5 plus 2 radical 5 minus 21. Everybody agree? What's the square root of 49? So now when I'm adding, what do I get? Beautiful. 5 radical 5 minus 21. Everybody good with that?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Now, this one's a little bit more troubling. So I got the square root of 2 minus 7 times the square root of 2 minus 7. Remember that?
Yeah.
You're not just telling me that's 2 minus 49 or 2 plus 49. All right? So what is square root of 2 times square root of 2? 2. Now we do our smiley faces. Hopefully remember. What is this right here? Negative 7 radical 2. And then this becomes what? Negative 7 radical 2. And then now we're going to do the negative 7 times the negative 7, which is the what? Positive 49. All right? We're still not done, of course. What? Okay, so when you combine terms, you end up with 51 minus 14 radical 2. All right? Anybody have any questions? All right? Here we go. 18. Another good problem. 8 times 4? 32. What is this? Negative 4 radical 10? What's that? So again, you're practicing putting numbers in your head. Negative 4 radical 10, negative 16 radical 10 gives me negative 20 radical 10. If that's too much for you, just write it down. Right? But practice holding numbers in your head. That's important. And then this negative radical 10 times negative 2 radical 10, we should be able to see that's obviously plus 20. Right? Anybody have a question with why it's plus 20? 2 times 1 is what? What's square root of 10 times square root of 10? What's square root of 10 times square root of 10, guys? No. 10. Square root of 10 times square root of 10 is 10. You can say square root of 100, but then you're going to have to tell me the square root of 100 is what? 10. So you just skip that altogether. Square root of 10 times square root of 10 is 10. So 10 times 2 is 20. Everybody good with that? So now we're combining terms, right? So 32 plus 20. There we go. Simple. 52 minus 20 radical 10. Yes, sir. No, actually, remember what I did first, Daniel, is this. This times this. That got me the first 2. You hear me? And then square root of 10 times square root of 10 is 10. And then I multiply 2 times 10. All right, good job. 20. All right? Everybody should be able to look at that and just obviously say that is 4. Come on now, it's not a big mystery. Think it through. You didn't give much thought process. What's 22 divided by 11? Times 8. Square root of 16. That's all there is to it. Right? You're looking at it just like a fraction. If you want to make this over 1, feel free if that'll help you. But everything is under the radical. Don't be sorry. I just want you to try to figure things out. I think that's the most important thing. Give it a shot. I don't want you to just say, I don't know, just because you don't see something right away. All right? That's the difference. All right? Anybody have any questions with 20? What? I did not cross multiply. It's not an equation. You don't cross multiply an equation. All right? So I'm saying it's not an equation, so we do not cross multiply. We cross reduced, or I just said 22 divided by 11 is what? Times 8. Square root of 16. Some of you, seriously, look up on the board. Here's what some of you are asking me. Watch. Ingalls, this is what I was frustrated at. Look up on the board. Here's why I was frustrated. That's what some of you are asking me about. Did everybody see that now? It's just multiplying fractions, correct? It just looks different because it has a what? Because there's radicals. Everybody with me now, right? Right? Don't be confused. The radicals are just operations. All right? Daniel, you good on that? Ingalls, you all set?
Yes, sir.
All right, beautiful. Let's do 22. All right, now everybody should be able to look at that and say the answer is just 80. Beautiful. 80. Now, no reason to put your hand up and say, oh my gosh, how did he do that? All right, think for a second. Try to figure out how I got 80 when I'm squaring. Tell us, Nate. What did we do? Yeah, what he did was he just squared both of them. Now, I wish he wouldn't have said square root of 25. I wish he would have just said what? 5. Do you agree? Right? So again, I'm going to write this one more time just to show you. -4 squared, radical 5 squared. You're multiplying. Everybody agree with that? Now does everybody see how we got 80? Casey? Bridget, you good? Anybody have any issues? Which one do you want me to look at quickly? All right. Somebody asked me about 19. I usually don't like to go back, but I'm going to look. Well, you know how to do it now. We're just reducing fractions. Right? Reduce radicals and reduce rationals. Everybody good on this? All right, let's go back on track now. All right. So 24. Everybody quickly should be able to tell me. Go. You're awesome. All right. Now again, we've been working for a week now, so you should start to see the numbers. All right. You really should. All right. They're repeated so much. Uh-oh. Now, plus or minus, that's that symbol. That's all that means. Most people don't know the square root of 441, but it is. Anybody know? All right, I'll tell you. It's 21. Plus 20 squared is what? 400. Right? So that's how I knew it was close. All right? And then it would be x to the what? And then y to the 9. Everybody good with that? Happy? All right, let's go. 28. Now this one, like I said, you should be getting good. You should be able to just, boom, tell me the answer. You don't need to break anything down now because you can always do it mentally. Go ahead, Aspen.
8x radical 7.
Beautiful. I think she's right. Anybody else agree? All right. Remember, if you don't know something, I'm more frustrated if you don't say, give me some help. Everybody good on that? That's not bad. All right, let's continue on. 30. All right, we should be able to do pretty good with this. Go ahead, Kate. Beautiful. That's exactly what I want from you guys. All right, 12x to the 5th radical 7. Everybody happy with that? All right. Ooh, do you remember what 180? I told you 180 was. Do you remember what 180 was? 36 times 5. Very good. 36 times 5. Those of you guys remember that? That's a common problem. All right, that's a common problem. 36 times 5. So there's a lot going on here. If you get this one right, you pretty much can reduce. All right, Zoe, since you've been a good girl.
-12x squared radical 5x.
X what? What did you say, x? I didn't hear
Oh. Negative 12x squared radical 5x.
you. What is it?
X to the fourth.
Ooh. Isn't that x cubed?
Yeah. Essentially 2 and then 1 and
And then that becomes a? You said squared. Did you meant cubed? Alright, you just don't know the difference? Right, because this right here, there's an x comes out, right? Hold on, listen. Hey, do you understand what I'm saying? X cubed, 1x comes out. You take out groups of 2, right? How many are out there already? So, you add another one. You agree with that now? So now, tell me again, Chloe. Or, I'm sorry, Zoe.
negative 12x cubed radical 5x.
Is everybody happy with that now? I know. My brain's not working. Negative 12. All right. Anybody have any questions? All right, moving forward. 34. Kate, what do you think? Good job. I'm agreeing with you. Look, this comes out as a y cubed, agree? So, does the x change? No. The y becomes what? Beautiful. That's it, girl. You got this. All right, and what was left behind? Beautiful. Perfect. Everybody okay with that? Daniel, tell me. That's exactly right. Now listen, Daniel, remember, one of the things I'm trying to teach you, you ready? You hear me? You should be able, you know what I'm saying, right, Dan? You know what I'm going to tell you. I want you to be comfortable making a decision, right? You knew the only possibility was to add the 3 and the 1. Don't be afraid to do that. All right? You're going to have to make your own conclusions sometimes when you don't know something. All right? Based off patterns. All right, that one's too easy for us. What is that? Beautiful. Move on. All right, here we go. 38 is another nice one. All right. 5 times 2. Now we're doing our smiley faces. How many? How many is that? No, pay attention. How much is this? Negative 4. And then this is 5. So just radical 3. So everybody agree with me? Plus radical 3. And again, I'm always trying to encourage kids, be able to practice your mental math right now. Bridget, you okay? You got it or no? Bridget, I don't want you to tell me kind of go. I can do it again. All right, can we do it again? Here we go. One more time. So if you're having trouble seeing things, we can just write it down. Right? That would be negative 4 radical 3. Do you see that? Now I'm going to do the outside one, right here. That's 5 radical 3. Do you agree with that? You with me now, right? And now, the hard one. Bless you. The hard one is to do negative 2 radical 3 times radical 3. What is that? I think it's negative 6. Is that right? Hold on. I'm doing step by step because some people look puzzled, so I want to make sure I'm reaching everybody. Now, if you don't know it's negative 6, you can raise your hand. I really don't mind. Like I try to say, I get irritated if you just sit there and you don't know something. Tell me. You don't see why it's 6? Okay, so do you see? I'm gonna erase something real quick for you. So I want you to tell me what's radical 3 times radical 3. There's a 2 out. See it now, right? That's That's all right. So you see it's 6 now, right? Does anybody else need me to repeat that again? You're having trouble seeing the 6, right? What is square root of 3 times square root of 3? There's a 2 out there. What's square root of 3 times square root of 3? 3, Zoe. Right? No or yes? Come on, Zoe. You agree or not? You sure? All right, kiddo. 10 minus 6. So is everybody happy with 4 plus radical 3? Everybody happy with that? All right, here we go. Square 864. Say that again, buddy. 12. Because 144 times 6 is 864. All right? Now that was kind of annoying. Do you agree? No. What you would do here? Let me. There's no reason to have to look that up now. Come on. If I'm showing you, look right here, please. Look how you would do this. All right, is it divisible by 4?
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Is it divisible by 9? Yes. If it's divisible, now please listen to me. If it's divisible by 4 and it's divisible by 9, then it must be divisible by 36. Everybody with me? So now take 864 and divide it by 36. And tell me what that is. 36 times 18, right? Somebody do that for me. 864 divided by 36. I just want to make sure I'm... No, that's not right. 24, not 18. Thank you. All right. So now I'm breaking it down. So what's the square root of 36? 6. Now I'm still looking at the square root of 24. And square root of 24 is what? 2 radical 6. There's a 6 out in front. 6 times 2. 12. Come on, Casey, you're not listening to me. I'm showing you how to do it without looking it up. Now, is everybody comfortable with the variables being there? Is everybody okay with the variables? Yeah, 864 is not that hard, you agree? Because you're always looking for perfect squares. 4, 9, 16, 25, 36. Those are the numbers you're looking for. All right? Now, 42. Now, this is the one that I would like for you to look at and tell me, is there a common 5?
No.
What? Is there a common 5? Yes. 15 is 5 times 3. So the first thing that come out is a what? 5. The first thing that comes out is a 5. Are you agreeing with me? Everybody sure about that? So 5. Is there a common 3? Yes. So this is 4 times 3. So now 5 times 3. Now what's the square root of 4? 2. Final answer. You're right, 30. Now I'm trying to show you how you don't need a calculator for that. You're looking for groups of 2. Is everybody with me on that? All right. Let's have some more fun. 44. Square root of 14 times square root of 2 is? No. No. 2 radical 7. That's how you're supposed to be saying it. But you're quiet today. So I've never heard you be quiet. I didn't even hear you. I'm sorry. Are you okay today? You feeling sick? You okay? Something's wrong with Zoe. Someone give her a hug today after class. All right. Is everybody good with 2 radical 7?
I don't understand.
Well, there's a 2 times 7 in 14. There's this 2 and this 2. That comes out there as that 2.
Oh, okay. So
all right? Now, square root of 14 times square root of 7 is obviously negative what? Beautiful. Everybody sing? Everybody good? Zoe,
Yeah?
did you get that one?
Not really. I got the first one.
What are you having trouble with?
Well, can't you like solve it?
What do you want to solve? What do you want that to be? -5 radical 5? What do you want to solve? Tell me. So you're just making things up now? We're going to have Zoe math now? What do you want? How do you want it to be?
It feels like you can go further.
We don't do math based on feelings. We do not do math based on feelings. All right? All right. What? Go.
So I understand how you got to root.
So this is 7 times 2, correct?
Yes, sir.
So square root of 7 times square root of 7.
Oh, okay.
Now
I'm
the
sorry.
2 is left behind.
Okay, I'm sorry.
All right, here we go. Now, 28. 3 square roots of 28. You should just tell me that is what? 6 radical 7. Plus 3 radical 7. Minus 5 radical 7. 4 radical 7. Zoe, how are your feelings? Are you feeling like that's correct?
I'm feeling like you're going fast.
Right.
Future means he's gonna watch the
48. Here we go. 448. Square root of 3 plus 2. Square root of 3 plus 2. All right, square root of 3 times square root of 3. 3. Now we're doing smiley faces.
I hate
2 radical 3. 2 radical 3.
4
You are amazing.
plus
4 radical 3. Plus
What's happening? Plus
4.
7 plus 4. All I hear is Aspen going 4 radical 3. 4 radical 3.
4 radical 5.
No.
8, 9, 10.
Yes, it is.
No.
Wait, I'm having a feeling.
Well, feel the next problem coming at you.
Oh, I can do it. Wait, I'm gonna do
Okay.
it.
Here we go.
I did it for a second.
So that's
Listen, those of you guys who thought it was 1, smack yourself in the face
so
real
you're
hard
stupid.
and say, wake up.
Wake up.
Oh, it's 1.
It's 1. How do you
Why
get
did
it?
it
Do you want to smack yourself? Is that why you said 1?
Yeah, it's 1.
One.
Zoe, do it again, please.
How do you get 1?
There, thank you.
Oh,
Square root of... What are you guys talking about?
because you do because you do. No, that's not it though.
Mr. Strong always right.
Are you having trouble? Are you having trouble reducing 5 over 15?
Yes, because I got the answer that's not that.
No, it's radical.
Listen, again, I am trying... Hey,
Oh my gosh, it's
Oh my God.
no, it isn't.
Are you stupid?
hey, listen. I appreciate the enthusiasm, but just listen to me now, please, for a quick second. It's just like multiplication. You multiply numbers and you multiply radicals. You don't multiply a number times a radical. The same principle here. You divide numbers and you divide radicals. You don't divide a number and a radical. So what do I mean by that? For those of you guys who are paying attention. All right, no, stop. Square root of 6 divided by the square root of 2 is the square root of 3. That's where I got that from. That came from this. This is a fraction, 5/15. 5/15 reduces to 1/3. So there's a 3 in the denominator. You cannot do anything with the square root of 3 over 3. It's like saying, what is 2 times the square root of 7? That is not the square root of 14. You cannot divide radicals and rationals, or irrationals and rationals. All right? That's what it simplifies to.
Is 3 radical 1 a thing, or is that just this?
3 radical 1. Square root of 1 is what?
Oh.
What?
Why can't you turn 5 radical 6
Whoa, whoa, whoa. So how am I going to do that exactly? Shh. Want to hear this?
Oh, wait, my bad, because you can't get
No, you didn't go any further than that. All right, here we go. For those of you guys who are paying attention,
I get this one.
are you sure?
Yes, I am positive. Pretty positive.
Daniel, what did you get?
I got 9.
Yeah.
Wait, no, it's 3 root of 9, which is 3. It's
What did you get?
I got 3. It's the square root of 9, so it's 3.
I got 3.
I got 3. Look,
Because you're forgetting all the radical.
See, I got 3 over
That
1.
my own.
7.
Then we
So
go
that
back.
makes
That's
3.
still wrong. I don't know.
That's
No,
Just go like that.
Anybody have any issues with that? Don't feel bad if you're having issues. That just means you can't reduce fractions.
I
can't do simple division.
Okay, last one.
I did it twice.
Hold up.
3, right?
Okay.
Amelia, tell me about 54. What's my answer? Shh. I'm waiting patiently. Hurry up. Shh. You are awesome. Shh. Beautiful. You are amazing. Shh. Everybody should be able to do that. Everybody should be able to do that. All right, listen. No, I want to tell you something else real quick. Listen. Hey, boys, I really want you to hear me on this. Because, listen, it's just a different way of looking at numbers. All right, it's going to be harder as we go next week if you can't do that. All right, everybody, put your hand down. Everybody should be able to do that. All right, now, I want you to do it mentally. All right, but if you're still struggling a little bit, that just means you need more practice. So instead of doing less work, do more work. All right, instead of doing the odds tonight, go redo the evens and then do the odds. All right, and then if you're struggling still, now you can listen to the video of the odds and make sure you're going through it properly. Now, Zoe, what?
I'm working.
You good?
Oh, could you explain how to
What is 72? Break down 2. Very good. 36 times 2.
I did 9.
Yeah, I know. Some of you did 9 and 8 because you have short-term problems here. We said 72 is easier if you choose 36 and 2. If you choose 9 and 8, you're just going to have to break down what? 8. So I've done this several times. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Just like 80, there are certain numbers that appear on standardized tests that you should know. Does that make sense now? You good? All right, do I need to do the variables or are you good with the variables?
Is the exponent just divided?
Yes, by 2, right? But 9 doesn't divide by 2, so you break it down to 8 and 1. Happy now? All right, guys, does everybody feel good about that? Now listen, I'm not giving you a hard time. Some of you guys, though, I need you to do some extra practice. The mental part is got to be sharper for some of you. That's why it's having some issues. And look, you only are getting stronger by doing more. All right, practice. All right, you don't need to look things up. All right, learn to break things down yourself. All right, now, please, go back and do the odds. All right, tomorrow, all we're doing is studying. That's it. Good job.